resistance, folks. The resistance is dancing to stop Trump. And the thing is, Republicans are shocked by the Democrats. Pod Save America, shot by the Democrats. And even ex-president's silence. That's right, on Trump, shocks the Democrats. But what do the Democrats do? They want to dance. They want to dance away their problems. I've had so many people send me this video. This is why I'm hesitant to cover protests, glorified parades in downtown Chicago. This is why I don't want to do it. This is why. You think this is going to somehow, Trump's going to see this and what? Oh, these guys, these protesters, they did a dance and it totally stopped me. Hold on, we're muting because of copyright. So here they are. Got a whole bunch of people holding up their arms. And then that kid wishes he was somewhere else. I mean, it's just interesting to see performance art in real time. And they're doing this as a way to resist Trump, to protest Trump. See, now I know why a lot of progressives and independents who were with the Bernie Sanders movement, who were kicked out, because stuff like this, they were pushed out. Like, none of this is really going to make an impact. People are going to be confused. People are going to be indifferent. But yes, this will help, folks. So breathe in, breathe out. You use your jazz hands. Use your jazz hands. Use your jazz hands, folks. But as things do change, as we do see these people doing their dance, it is abundantly clear that the narrative about the Democrat Party, what they have to do, and how they're going to be regaining power, this is not it. This is not it. And I want to pull up this video here and shout out to Case Study QB, because I think now everybody is realizing that Democrats have no plan, that this power to push forward has no real initiative. And even the most diehard vote blue, no matter who people, have to wake up to reality.
Democrats were boring. We're the NBA skills competition where Wemby's cheating, while Trump is the USA-Canada hockey game where there's 3 fights in 10 seconds and you can't look away. And I don't know how to compete with that. We don't have a leader who can compete with that. We don't have a party that can compete with that. We don't have a message that can compete with that.
But tell why. You can't compete with that, and you don't have that. I'm not talking about you specifically, of course.
I know.
About the Democratic Party. You don't know that, and you can't compete with that for the biggest reason of all. Because y'all are too busy trying to pick candidates for the American people instead of listening to the American people tell you who they want. The last Democrat.
Now, hold on. I want to pause here for a second. Because the sad fact is about the Democrats, especially when they don't have a plan, is that even the Republican colleagues are calling them out. And since they don't have a plan, there's a lot of shock and surprise, because you see, if you are a Democrat voter, you're not really voting for who you want. I mean, the Democrats chose who they want as their DNC chair, Mr. I want good billionaires. These are the same Democrats that then choose who they want as their presidential candidate. I mean, it has been confirmed in the aftermath of the 2016 election, thanks to the actions of so many people who were demanding accountability, that the Democrats admitted that they're a private institution and they can pick whoever they want, whenever they want, all the time, every time. And in turn, where's the fight?
From a practical point of view, right? They can't stop anything. They could prolong inevitabilities, which is bills are going to pass, people are going to be confirmed. So they could do that, but there is nothing that they could do to stop, in reality, Trump's agenda from becoming law. That opportunity came and went with the last election. Now, Tim, tell me why I'm 100% wrong and an idiot.
Tim, go ahead.
No, I totally agree with everything he said about that outside infrastructure, including the fact that Joe Rogan wasn't even part of it until he got co-opted, right? So it wasn't even explicitly partisan infrastructure. Here is the thing that I don't know if we disagree or not on this, Jake, but so I'd revise and extend, which is the Democrats have a bunch they could do on the Hill to gum up the works and to create a lot of noise about how they're doing it. And I think this is what Democratic voters are demanding. I like what you're seeing out there already is people bouncing around the room over this and wanting their Democrats to like take a leadership mantle and fight.
The problem is that they can't fight. They got rid of some of their best fighters, some of their best headhunters. They got rid of some of their mightiest of warriors, or they did the cancel culture, censorship, suppression, and move on. I mean, listen, I remember 2016. I remember there was one big unified progressive movement. And as soon as Bernie Sanders bent the knee, the cracks began to show. The divisions began to happen. As much as I would like for that landmine not to explode, it was stepped on.
And what I remember as a Republican kind of rolling my eyes at, to be honest, and which I was wrong about, was in 2016, Republican voters liked Trump because he fought. It wasn't even really about every specific issue. There were some issues he was on the right side of the base, some he was on the wrong side of the base, but they saw him as somebody who was going to fight for them. Democrats now want that. They want somebody that will fight for them tooth and nail. Maybe that's doing what Tommy Tuberville did and holding up, nominations, being a jerk on the floor, blocking people from getting confirmed. And maybe I interviewed Jared Moskowitz for the podcast today, and I think he's aligned on this. It's the upcoming budget fight, and saying we are not going to bail the Republicans out on this. You guys govern. You're supposed to be in charge. You govern, and we're going to point and attack you and laugh when you fail. And I think that is what people are thirsting for, and that's like, with a couple exceptions like Chris Murphy, like AOC, I feel like that's what Democrats feel like they're not getting.
I'm happy, Jake, for you to respond to that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. There was forced to vote. There was a March for Medicare for All. Yes, I know the 2020 primary and yes, the general election was a bitter pill to swallow. But there was an opportunity for the progressive Democrats, the Democrat Party as a whole, to at least maybe somewhat regain some ground and some credibility. And that was for forced to vote, March for Medicare for All. Those were two things in which people were asking the squad and Bernie Sanders to step up and fight for us. They chose not to. Instead, now they got the green light to fight because Biden's no longer president. And so in turn, now it's acceptable for them to challenge now it's acceptable for the Democrats to challenge Donald Trump. But have you noticed just how quiet and meek it is? How pointless the protests are? How insignificant they are? Even protesting in front of Trump Tower. There was a point where, boy, the camera crews would be out there, and yes, they'd be out there, but it doesn't have that same zing to it anymore. It's lackluster. It's pointless because it has achieved nothing.
No, Tim is absolutely right on the last point. If Joe Biden had an unelected billionaire buddy of his running around cutting defense spending and things that Republicans like, there would be zero chance that Republicans would help pass a government funding bill. Zero. And you're already hearing Democrats say, well, listen, it's Republicans' responsibility to fund the government, but we want to be responsible and be at the table. I mean, it's shocking to me that Democrats seem to be indicating, or at least Democratic leaders, that they're not going to put up a fight. This is the only opportunity they have in the next 6 to 8 months where their votes are needed, where Republicans need to come to Democrats hat in hand for their participation. After March 14th, Democrats have zero leverage, zero until next year. So what Tim is saying is right. Make noise. If you're a Democrat, that's what a lot of Democrats are saying. Make noise and make our votes worth something, because they're worth nothing if you're just going to roll over.
Make a statement.
Yes, and speaking of making a statement, former presidents Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, George W. Bush have barely uttered a word about President Trump's actions a month into his second term, to the dismay of Democrat critics who say their voices are badly needed. Well, those four presidents, I mean, they had their opportunities to make some big things happen. Now, to be clear here, yes, there's a lot of people cheering on for Doge, and I'm very surprised at some of the things that Doge has revealed. However, and again, let's take a step back here. We got to be concerned about what else is happening behind the scenes. I mean, if Doge is able to give us a $5,000 stimulus check, that stimulus check should be much higher. Give us $200K. There you go. I'm just going to throw that out there because I think the American people deserve it. What else is going on? And by the way, all these people who are now shocked, especially some of these politicians, remember, if they've been in Washington, D.C. for more than 5 or 8 years, I mean, come on, they know. They know about all the corruption and the manipulation. They can't be stupid. Everybody knows. They knew in some form or another. There's no such thing as innocence, only varying degrees of guilt. Those calling out for the ex-president to speak say Trump's actions and the potential for him to bypass court orders could be red flags to the former occupants of the Oval Office. No one knows more about the importance of our presidents respecting separations of powers and showing restraint than the former president's Democrat strategist Joel Payne said. Given Trump's ongoing power grab, those voices and perspectives would be critical to public discourse at this moment. Well, isn't that special? Isn't that nice? I don't know what they're waiting for, one former senior aide to Obama said. The time isn't when Trump ignores the court rulings. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. Really, is it? Trump's first month in office has been a whirlwind of activity in which he has sought to dramatically reduce the federal workforce while giving the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, led by Elon Musk, access to sensitive government payment systems. He also sought to change birthright citizenship and dramatically curb federal spending. Clinton, Biden, Obama repeatedly warned of the risk of the nation if Trump was reelected. Biden, who said he decided to run for office in 2020 because democracy was on the line, warned days before he left office that the threat of a second Trump administration posed. In Biden's farewell address, just days before Trump entered office again, Biden warned of an oligarchy taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. He vowed to stay engaged. Has he? And by the way, the oligarchy was happening under Biden, under Trump's first term, under Barack Obama, under George Bush Jr., under Bill Clinton. I mean, what is the shock here, folks? Since leaving office in 2017 and passing the baton to Trump, Obama has frequently spoken up about democracy. In a month after the 2024 election, Obama renewed a call for pluralism, finding a way to live alongside individuals and groups who are different, and spoke about what is at stake about invoking Trump's name. Because the alternative is what we've seen here in the United States and many democracies around the globe, Obama said in his annual forum on the topic, not just more gridlock and public cynicism, but an increasing willingness to be part of politicians and their followers to violate norms, to do anything they can get away with, get their way, to use the power of the state to target critics and journalists and political rivals, and to even resort to violence in order to gain and hold on to power. Well, there you go. But see, Trump, again, taking part of USAID and so many other agencies, I couldn't see Obama doing this, or Bush Jr., or Bill Clinton, or Joe Biden. Nothing fundamentally changed. Everything remained the same as it is. And when you have Democrats doing this, just breezing in, breezing out, fast forwarding here, you have them doing all this kind of dancing and singing and holding out and just doing this and that. I mean, this is not what's going to cause Trump to be shocked and afraid. This doesn't do it. This doesn't do it at all. I want to pull this up here as well. Returning back to this.
Have a personality, make some noise, all that stuff. Tim, I want to talk to you about the other thing you brought up in your podcast, this need for more macho bro energy within the Democratic Party. But we're out of time. We're going to put that on hold. We're going to talk about it another day. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
How apropos. We're talking about macho bro energy. Here's some macho bro energy. Why are Democrats' ratings approval so low? Shout out to Matt Orfala for this wonderful collage. This might be a little loud, but I'll try and lower down the volume just a little bit. So let's enjoy this. Let's enjoy this. Hold on. And let me stop here because the audio is not connected. So hold on. We will stop sharing. And then we will once again reshare again. Because sometimes it's a good thing you got to pay attention to your screen here, folks.
An insurrection is when the president tells people to go and fight like hell.
That is why we're here as House Democrats to fight, and we will fight.
We fight. All right, we're ready to fight.
Fight this.
People fight.
Fighting. Fight this in the Congress. We have to fight this in the streets. We need to fight this all over America.
And so we will fight
We will fight. To fight. We are here to fight. We are here to fight. And we will fight.
Yes. You know what's not going to do it? Stuff like this. This is not inspirational. Democrats realize that they lost the Senate and the House and the White House. November 5th was a big smack in the mouth for them. You know, I don't know how they're going to turn around this tanker, but it's going to be a miracle. And they had that chance in 2016 and by some chance even in 2020. You were warned about this. Well, you could still dance your way out of it, Democrats. That's what you can do. You could sing and dance your way out of it.